What's going on, everybody? What's going on?
What's up?
It's your boy Sean.
It's your boy Troy.
Hey,
Tapped
we
in.
tapped in.
Back,
we tapped
back.
in. Another week. We back at it.
Back at it, man.
Back at it. Yeah, man. We had some good conversations. All fair, man. We can't share.
Yeah.
We can't share on there.
We're
today.
more than conquerors, though, man. That's all I know.
For sure. For sure. So I mean, we always, as always, like, comment, share, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you following us at. Just share it. Let's get the numbers up. We see we getting some traction.
No doubt. We appreciate everybody, man, that's rocking.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all. We're trying to keep this thing authentic and organic and just something, as always, we say we want to have something that's timeless that, anybody who happen to see one of our clips can, gain something from that. But then if they get down the rabbit hole, they got a whole bunch of gems down there that they can pick up and apply to their life. So we appreciate y'all. We appreciate the journey. We appreciate y'all coming along with us. Let's take it to the next level. For sure.
That's it. No doubt, man. So, you know how we always start, man.
Yeah. So we're gonna start off talking about.
We can't skip the NFL, man. Come on, man. Rewind that. We gotta talk about the NFL. Look, just give us a few minutes, man. First of all, man, hats off, man, to the NFC East, man. You know what I mean? The Philadelphia Eagles, man. That's specifically, you know what I mean?
Specifically, what you talking about?
We clinched the number 3 seed, man. We got the 49ers, but I think we did what we wanted to do. Yeah, I think we did what we wanted to do, man. I think we're in a great position. Yeah, man. What they can't handle defense like nothing, man. And I think just watching how Seattle's defense, man, kind of paralyzed them boys, and our defense is right up there with Seattle. So, yeah, I'm confident, man, and confident, just like y'all kicker was, man. No, I had to throw that out there.
Man, it's crazy. You know what? I got as close and tight a game as that was. When the game was over, I got over that one.
You did?
I did.
What?
I did. You know why? Because I looked at how the year started. I saw what we could have been. Right? I saw the adversity that we had gone through.
Yeah.
I saw how we, scratched and clawed to get ourselves in a position to be able to get into the playoffs. Right? Win or go home against our arch rival.
Yeah.
Right. And you played a game, good game. Before the game started, I was like, I don't want this to be easy.
Right.
I don't want it to be easy. If we're gonna win it, we don't deserve them mess something up, or we gotta take it. We gotta show we believe we're supposed to be there. We gotta show that we want to be there and that we can win the game when it matters.
I feel like the majority of your team did that day. I feel like, man.
And so how can I be mad? So the only thing I can be mad with is that the kicker didn't make the kick.
Yeah.
Right. But they did. So like, as far as the team, everybody up until that point did exactly what they were supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I agree with that.
One play ain't go, well, that one play does make or break the game, but all of the plays leading up to that, where we got the stops that we needed. Kyle Hamilton went out hurt. Next man up made the play. Zay Flowers caught the ball.
Yeah.
Likely caught the ball.
Big time catches.
Right, big time catches. Everybody who had issues Lamar, no turnovers. Henry didn't turn the ball over. All of the things that have hindered us all year long, we didn't do. Right? It came down to that one thing was the kicker.
But it's that too little, too late type thing. You know what I mean?
It is.
It's one of those. And then looking back at the whole, and I'm not going to harp on your team too much, but honestly, I feel like you guys beat yourself a lot of the games. And so. And
who does that come down to?
Definitely could have. So you think they made the right move with the coaches?
Man, I'm not going to lie. I thought it could happen, but I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
But as soon as it happened, I was like, man, I know this guy not gonna end up in our same division. I honestly think he's gonna be the Cleveland Browns next.
We had a conversation, and I agree, man. I'm just looking at the whole dynamics and his coaching style, it would be a good fit.
It would be.
And it'd be a decent challenge for him.
Yep.
And I think their positioning, because of the way everything played out, I don't want to say his name. What was Stefanski?
Yeah.
I don't think he could coach Shedeur moving forward.
Right.
Because of the contention. Even though Shedeur saying the right things on camera.
And the celebrityness of it.
It's too much. But Harbaugh is the right guy for that, man, because he done had some of the biggest names, some of the, same type players.
Yep.
So, yeah.
He's used to dealing with those big personalities. The other thing is that all of them guys in that locker room done seen his body work over the last 18 years.
So they're going to respect.
They're going to respect.
It's a different type of respect coming in.
It's a different type of respect. Man, I've been watching you coach all my life. I've seen you win. I've seen you win Super Bowls. I've seen you, not make the playoffs and then have to rebuild back up and, have teams that, could have we done more than what we did. Yeah. But I mean, we still had success. Yeah. Right. And I think that, and his culture is about winning.
That's it. Yeah.
Right. And for a franchise like that, who they don't know nothing about winning.
Yeah, it's the right ingredients, man. Yeah. Because and plus he's gonna get all the credit because they're starting from scratch.
But then that leaves I have no idea who our next coach can be.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, are we gonna get somebody new that we never heard of, or somebody who proven or young? One of these young guys that is at somewhere else and can get enticed to because honestly. Derrick Henry looked like he could go another year.
Yeah.
And still be dominant.
Yeah.
Zay, likely.
I better hope Lamar's there.
Man, that'd be suicide, man. We lose.
We lose handling the whole squad,
man. Huh? Yeah, man. Yeah. That's crazy. That'd be crazy.
So look, man, I was leading into what we're about to talk about, man. Another sidebar on that, man, is this week, man, all of the job losses came down the pike from the NFL, and I was on a post, man, and said, can you imagine the everyday worker, man, like the everyday employee dealing with what the coaches had to cover, just getting up in the morning, hey, before you even get to the office, you hear, hey, they decide to part ways. Decide to part ways. They said so. They they decided to part ways with you today.
No, nonchalantly, man. And what did I say? That's the business of football.
Yeah, that's business of football.
That's no different than the dude down in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Prescott, they get the win. He hugged the owner and the owner's son.
Right.
They pat him on the back. Get in before he can get in the car.
You hear about your job gone.
You done. You gotta make calls and make sure, man, did you really let me go?
Yeah, that's
man. I'm sorry, man.
But I think it's a little easier knowing you walk away with all your bread, though. See, it's a little bit different than having to stand in the unemployment line.
Yeah, for sure. Not know when the next check gonna come.
Yeah. Them guys are wealthy, man. They got that generational wealth money, man.
Yeah. But I mean, with generational wealth, man, the people that usually build it, the people who they build it for, most of the times end up losing it.
I read that, man. I seen that, man. I think the statistic was 70% of generational wealth is lost by the second generation. That's just the next generation. Why do you think that is?
Because the person who built it is built out of a desire, a lack of a wanting of more, or circumstances that they experienced when they were younger, or it's just that they have the insatiable drive to be successful, right? And they want that success. What success looks like for them in most cases is for them to be able to provide the people they love with a life far better than they could ever imagine or dream. And in doing so, I think it is very hard to parent that child, because in order for them to have that same kind of drive and want, there there has to be some kind of struggle in there.
Yeah.
Right. There has to be a lack of, right. And when you grow up in an environment where there's not a lack of, it's hard to create that sense of, what's what I'm looking for. It's hard to kind of create that killer instinct when you don't really have nothing to kill for.
Yeah. Well, Mike Tyson kind of said that, man. He said that. He said his son was talking about a box and wanting a box. And he was like, you wouldn't be a good boss because you haven't been. I was good because I came, like everything you described. I came from the struggle. I was hungry. I needed it. Mm-hmm. You come from a gated community. You don't have that. And that is part of it. And I feel that another part of it is, with anything, I feel like if you don't have skin in the game, then it's easier to kind of squander it away or not care about it. Now, if your parents built a business where you had to get up early in the morning and feed the cow and cattle, and you had to do this, like if you grew up doing that and that built the business, and you had an understanding of the inner workings of it and what it took, I think that can carry on more successfully than I'm going to the office or I'm out here doing this, but I don't really know how we're getting this money.
Right. And I think that's very true. Because if you have to manufacture ways to create that drive for your children if you're if you're extremely successful, right? Because they don't, whatever you have done doesn't require them to have to get up in the morning and, you know, on days that they don't feel like it. It doesn't require them to have to sacrifice, you know, something, time or whatever. And so in order for you to be able to, you have to, I think as a parent, you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional about creating ways to teach the morals and values that shape the way that you look at life and what drives you, but also expose them. I think the other side is exposing them to that other side of life. Like the people who don't have, donating your time, volunteering your time to help those people who have, who don't have the means.
You can see that it really do exist.
Right.
Because in your world, it may not exist unless you're exposed to it.
Right.
And then when we talk a lot about legacy, man, and building legacy families and things like that, but and doing so, like, how do you assure that your successors or the people that's coming after you, how do you assure that they even have the want to do the things? Because, okay, say you work hard your whole life, you put this money aside and they have access to be able to build on and be successful for a next generation to come. But in their mind, all they want to do is travel and have fun.
And so for me, the way I look at it, my kids get the benefit of the life that I live. Right. They also get to see up close and personal the sacrifices and the things that I do to afford that life.
Right.
They also get to see how my wife and I give back to the community and how important that is. They get to see how important our faith is. They get the luxury of me being able to pour the wisdom that God's been able to allow for me to be able to see and be able to capture. Because some people go experience life, but they really don't get the gems and the wisdom that comes from it, right? And so the ability that I have to be able to look at my life and pull the wisdom out of it, to be like, hey, look, this is what you, even like going down to when it was time to pick colleges and stuff like that. No, we're gonna do it this way because this, right? I know this is not what you really prefer or want, but this is what's the best decision for us, right? And so they get the benefit of that. They get to eat what I eat. They get to go on the vacations that I go on. So they do benefit in that sense. So for me, I'm more thinking about grandkids, right? Because they don't get the benefit of that.
Right.
Right. And it's not even guaranteed that my children, their parents are going to have the same drive that I have. And so I would, if I was ultra rich, I wouldn't be as concerned about my kids.
Because you know that you instilled the things into them.
Right. And I'm there with, I'm there with them.
Uh-huh.
My grandkids, on the other hand, I might not be with them. Well, I'm not going to be with them as long. Right.
Right.
And I'm not going to be able to give them those jewels and things. And so for me, it would be important to set up like a trust for them,
right,
where I've got money, because most people say, oh, generational wealth, I'm passing this on to my kids. I would be more willing to pass that on to my grandkids because, hey, I'm not going to be there, but when you make it at 25 or you make it at 28, you made good decisions or you made bad decisions. This is here to help be a stopgap. Either it's going to propel you to the next place, or you can't blame anybody else if you don't succeed because you've had the opportunity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's actually, man, I'm glad you said that because you said some key words in there, man. And part of our next topic, man, is the power of making decisions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The power of even making a decision and where that come in at everything that we talked about. So you can have two kids sit at the same dinner table, raised by the same two parents, experience everything we just talked about, exposed to the same thing, but lives turn out totally different. And some would say, hey, it's based off a circumstance where, one of the kids could feel victim. Oh, my dad didn't spend as much time with me. He didn't do this and that. And the other one might say, hey, I made the right decisions along the way. And this is why it worked for me. And then, so do you think, like, I guess the way I want to frame the question is, do you feel like life is more of based off of your outcome is more based off of like your circumstance, your environment, or more of decision making?
I 100% believe it's off the choices you make, the decisions that you make.
Let me ask you this though.
I said 100%. I can't say completely 100% because I think there's some grace and stuff that goes along with that. But I'd say 80 to 90% of what you can do and accomplish in your life comes down to choices that you make personally.
I agree. I agree with that. But as I was asking the question and thinking about it, your decisions are made from your immediate environment too. So a lot of decisions that I made early in life are not the same decisions I would make now, but because of the lack or because of the necessity of, okay, I want to get out of here. I need to do this, but I can't call my mom because we don't have nobody wealthy in the family. Nobody have extra. So my decision to do some of the things that I did was more based off of the environment I was coming from. It had good intentions behind it, but I guess at the end of the day, it's still a decision I made.
It's still a decision, but there are some circumstances and situations where before you have a chance to make decisions that will impact your life, there's so many bad decisions that have been made for you that puts you in a situation where you may have lost hope before you even got started. Right? The life that's around you is all that you think is possible. And so therefore you don't have a true sample size of life to base what decision or choice you want to make.
Right. You just have a real narrow view based off of what you see.
What you see. And if everything in your life looks like that and you don't have, some people, and why I said 80, 90% is because some people never get that. But some people, they get a glimpse from somebody who has taken a liking to them, or somebody who, it could be at school, it could be the parent of one of the kids in the classroom that came in dressed up, right? That looked like you. And it's just like, man, I wonder what he do. Or I wonder what she do. And, you know, you see the way that your classmate, you know, how much they talk about how much they love their mom or how much they love their dad. And it's enough to make you think. Right. To say, okay, well, how do I get to that? Right. And then it's almost a deduction of, okay, I know that what's around me right now doesn't look anything like that. So if I want to have something different, that means pretty much anything that I'm seeing, I'm gonna have to do the opposite.
Yeah.
Right. But you gotta have you have to have the opportunity and the grace to be able to see that.
It's funny that you say that because, okay, I'm gonna speak. I like to use real life situations, man, and I know my mom wouldn't be upset if I share this, but we come from a family where, you know, we dealt with some addictions, you know, alcoholism, things like that. Well, my mom grew up in that's all she saw. All she saw. I mean, and by God's grace, she decided, hey, you know what? I'm not going to touch a drink. This is now, granted, she had brothers and sisters that everybody, thank God, they all doing great now, but they all suffered from that disease because of their environment. But she was the one that made the decision.
She made one choice. I don't know what else I'm gonna do, but this one choice.
Not gonna. And then that decision led to her, you know, building her faith, you know, and then her faith is what helped pull the rest of the family out. But everybody was in the same environment, same situation. So that's the power of
that decision. And then the other thing that you don't know is you don't know how much time you have. Right. So, you know, in that scenario, the other siblings over time made decisions that allowed them to be able to say, okay, this isn't working for me.
Yeah.
Right. And so if I want something different, I'm going to have to stop doing this. As opposed to your mom that was like, this something ain't right here.
Yeah.
So I'm just not even going to do this. And let's see what happened.
Right.
And then there was other decisions that she made along the way that opened even more doors and led to where you are, you know what I mean, where you and your family are today. But, you know, it is all about choices, man. It's the choice of, from a young man perspective, you know, the choice of strapping up, not a gun, but, you know, when you're talking about, you know, having sex, the choice of strapping up and not.
Yeah. A split-second decision that can
change your life.
Yeah. Change your life. And
I mean, one way or the other. So you're on a trajectory, and then guess what? You change your life. Now you're over here. Now you got this responsibility. Now you got a whole nother set of choices now that you got to decide to do. That you're thrown into. That you're thrown into because of another choice. And that happens for all of us in a whole bunch of different ways. But you know, I think in most cases, people will try to pass blame on other people and not take accountability for the choices that they
was
made.
My next statement. You have to be transparent in those decisions, because those decisions that may have halted your plans or may have slowed you down, those are the things that you could use. You know what I mean? Say we overcome by our testimonies, man, whether it's good, whether it's bad, you know what I mean? But those are the things that you can say, hey, I've been there. I made this decision when I was facing this, and this happened. So now, by you being candid and sharing that with somebody, it might alter the next decision they make. But lots of times, if you're blaming, you can't teach nothing, because it's like, okay, it's still somebody else's fault.
Right.
And if you're doing that, 9 times out of 10, you're still making bad decisions anyway. Yeah. Because you ain't looked at yourself yet.
Right. Right. For sure. So speaking of decisions, man, you gotta make a decision right now. Which way we going, man?
Go with it.
Which way we going with this, man?
Man, you make the decision.
Man. So I shared a post with you earlier this week, right? And we both went back and forth. It was like, I don't know about this one. So we just gonna go ahead and jump in the pool, right? So the post was a young man. Yeah, I mean, he in the bedroom with his girlfriend. She just had a baby, and he's telling her like, look, you put on some pounds, I'm not attracted to you.
She just had a baby?
She had a baby. Well, baby was 2 years old.
Okay.
Baby was 2 years old.
Okay, that's important. That's important. Go ahead. That's important. I just want to know.
So, she had, so basically he goes to the gym, he works out and stuff, and he's like, look, I'm just being honest with you. He was like, I'm not as attracted to you. And what she was hearing was he didn't want her. He's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I want you to be a little bit more conscious and try to take care of yourself because I'm telling you that I'm not attracted to you. And, in the comments, we go in the comment section, everybody thought he was being too direct. He shouldn't be saying that. And when he was talking, he was like, look, you trying to tell me how I should feel. And he's like, but this is how I feel. Like, I feel like, okay, she didn't work. He goes to work, pays all of the bills, and she's home taking care of the child, which is a lot of work. She maintains the house, which is work. I mean, we're not discrediting that at all. But he was just saying, I want you to take better care of yourself. And then she was like, well, you go to the gym all the time and you ain't got no muscles. Good. He's like, oh, so now it's on me. But then he was like, well, even when you go up the steps, you out of breath and stuff.
So it's deeper than that. It's deeper than just the physical appearance.
It's deeper than the physical appearance. But I think when he said, look, like when we together, like I'm just not as attracted to you. It was like, you put on, extra 25 pounds. And, so the question is, should that play a factor when you're in a relationship? Now, they're not married, right? So they're boyfriend and girlfriend with a child. But in a relationship, should that matter?
From a broad scope, I'm going to say yes. And I'm not narrowing it down to weight, the gym. I'm just being attracted to somebody. Yes, you should always try to be attractive, no matter what that looks like. You know what I mean? You may change over the years, your style might change and all this, but you can tell when you go to Walmart today, and you can tell the people who take pride in the way they look and the way they carry themselves, and you can see the ones who don't. And if you're in a relationship, you should be on the side of the ones that do, because you want to always present yourself. First of all, you're representing your family, but you're representing me. And I feel like, yes, because think about it. And say, I think what people hear when say I'm not attracted to you means I'm going to cheat or I don't love you no more. I don't mean that. It means that I don't get this feeling that I'm not googly eyed over you because you're not putting forth the effort, man. And I know, and it's crazy because when you make your eyes, you sound like it sound harsher even than you, but think about it. I'm gonna break it down like this. I'm a car guy.
I'm gonna let you cook. Go ahead.
Because I'm a car guy, right? And I done had vehicles where, I drive different styles, set it up in the yard, and I'm like, man, I used to love that whip, man. But now I'm not, because it's sitting there, it's dirty, ain't got. So then one day I say, you know what, man, I'm gonna bring it back. And I clean it up real good, decide to get the interior right, maybe throw some wheels on it. And I fall back in love with that thing because it's presented itself in a better way than when it was just sitting up and not being thought about or didn't care in the state. You feel me?
I hear you.
Okay, you hear me? You ain't gonna feel me on it.
I get that. I get the analogy on it. I do get the analogy. What I will say in this scenario is, I don't know the context of what led up to that conversation, but you cannot fault him for speaking his truth,
right?
How he feel. Mm-hmm. So if in the sense that if somebody has gained, if your significant other has gained weight and it bothers you, then I think you should say something. Right. But if it doesn't bother you and you still feel googly eyed, and then that's fine. Mm-hmm. Now, does that change? Does that make it any easier for the recipient of that comment? No, it probably doesn't. But at least, you're the closest person to them. Everybody else around has seen it. Mm-hmm. Nobody else has said something, not unless they didn't walk past the wrong church
unless
mother.
You walk back, that's what I'm gonna say. Aunties, uncles, they don't pull no punches, do they? Nah.
And so it's not coming to, it's not coming from a place of malice,
right?
This is like, hey, look, you have put on some weight, and I'm not as attracted to you, and I want you to be healthy.
I think he should have led with that anyway. That
being healthy,
being, what I mean, look, we got a 2-year-old. I know you hear. I want to see.
Yeah, he said that at the very end, though.
Yeah, man. He should have started with that. Say, hey, we got some plans, man. We're gonna do some traveling, maybe some hiking and stuff. Maybe kind of. He could have weaved it in there, but he went right in.
Right.
And I think that probably was the hard part for him. But I can guarantee you, it resonated, even though the conversation might not have been comfortable. It's in our mind. And and unless he planted that seed, he wouldn't see the changes. So
do you think that that's a one-sided conversation, or do you think it would be taken the same way if it was a woman saying it to her husband?
I think they say it easier.
You think they say it easier?
They say it easier. I think I'm gonna say it. I think it's harder to say something to a woman, because we talk about the emotional dynamic, right. You know what I mean. So it's a little harder to say something that's not too pleasing to hear to a woman than it is to a man, because a man sometimes they might say it just to cut you anyway. You're gonna give it to you, and then it's up to you if you want to take it or not. But I think he would have took it well. I think hey, I'm gonna fight back, or he just don't care. Like, okay, so what? But yeah, he would have took it a little different. Right. But yeah,
it's certainly not a one size fit all answer, because I mean, if it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother you. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not a thing. Now, if it's a place where like it's just like it's really becoming unhealthy, where let's just say legs are legs are swelling, fluid and stuff like that. And then it's like, okay, now we need to, like, this is more medical. This is kind of life and death. Not, it's more life and death type of stuff. Yeah. This is something that, okay, if you don't get a hold of this, you could lose a limb, you could lose that's something totally different. And so I think that's a conversation. That's a conversation that if it's important to you, I think if you come out of a place of love and encouragement, it could benefit the both of you. Yeah. But if it's something, it's like with anything. If it's not an issue for you, it's not an issue for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, it's almost like, man, I feel like the person closest to you, if they're doing it in a place of love, they should be able to tell you, like, you got a joker walking around with a George Jefferson with braids in the back. I mean, and everybody laughing every time.
Right.
Why wouldn't the woman say, hey, man, it might be time to let it go?
Time to let it go.
Yeah. I mean, seriously though,
yeah, for real.
But you can't be scared to have that conversation, because if not, then you know what I mean, you setting them up.
Yeah, for sure. So man, I hope that conversation was helpful to somebody. Let us know what you think in the comments. What do you think the right thing?
I think we need more time with that one, man. Honestly, man, to really delve in it, because so many moving pieces.
It is. It's a lot of moving pieces. And again, you don't know why people are.
How did she come in the game?
Yeah.
How did she come in the game? Did she come in? Did he fall in love with her because she was an IG model and this is the way, you know what I mean? And now you something totally different.
Right. But in defense of my women out there, man, a woman don't know what her body gonna do when she have a baby, right? So now, like thinking about it, he loved her. He was attracted to her, wanted to have a child with her, had a child. And what if she was working out and the body just never bounced back to what he was originally attracted to? Like, women don't know that going into it. You don't know how their body is going to change.
But she was working out. He probably wouldn't have had a conversation because he would appreciate the effort. Anyway, to see her doing it.
Okay. Yeah. But I mean, man, I wouldn't change places with a woman for nothing. Like, to see what they have to go through to give us the family that we want. And even what I mean? And our wives done it multiple times.
And even with us stressing them. Yeah. I mean, just dealing with the stress of this conversation. We'll have some women, like, wait a minute, man.
Right.
So,
us having this conversation in here.
Yeah.
I feel it. Right. You know what I mean?
Just in general.
Yeah. So, I feel it. But we got. So we want to hit on one more thing, man. You had on here, which was about home ownership, first time home buyers. What's better for them, new construction or existing home?
Yeah,
right?
The benefits.
The benefits. And honestly, it depends, right? Because the market shifts all the time.
Okay.
When it's a super seller's market and stuff is flying off the shelves, I think you have a better opportunity at buying something that's existing, as opposed to something that's new construction, because a lot of times new construction won't offer any incentives, right?
Okay.
Like seller concession to help you with your closing costs and those things like that. You're more likely to get something like that from a seller who wants to sell. They listed the house at $400,000. You say, "Oh, look, I pay you $415. Just give me $15,000 for closing costs." They're like, "Okay, yeah, great, we'll do that." Where a builder, they might be like, "We want $405. We're not giving no seller a concession. We want the $405. We're not putting it over because we got hundreds of other buyers lined up that'll do it. That got 20% down, or financing is tight. So, but in a market like this, which is a shifting market, days on market is going up. Not necessarily a buyer's market, but days on market is going up for new construction and existing homes. And in this scenario, it actually is easier. It's better to buy a new home.
Oh, wow.
Because the way I explained it at my sales meeting the other day was, if you got a new construction home and you got an existing home, the person that's in the existing home, there's something that's going on in their life that makes them want to sell the house, right? So there's a reason for them selling. And it's not like they have to, but it's a choice that they want to make right now. With new construction homes, you're dealing with a national home builder. What is their business?
To sell homes. They need to sell it.
They need to sell.
Yeah.
So in a tight market, or a market where stuff is hard to sell, they're going to throw everything at you.
To move the unit.
Right. Because the machine is going to keep eating, right? So rather they sell a house this month or not, if they don't, they going in the red. They'd rather take a loss and get some money back on the books.
Right.
And go. So it's not an not an emotional decision for
that makes sense
for a new construction company. It's a financial decision. Whereas opposed to a homeowner, that's an emotional decision.
Okay.
And so again, it depends on the market where the better deal is. But in high inventory, new construction is going to probably get you the most incentives because they have to sell. And you can get good incentives from homeowners as well. And then when you have very low inventory, that's when you want to go more towards existing.
Okay. Yeah. Good stuff, man. No doubt.
Yeah. So, hey, man, we appreciate y'all tapping in with us. We're a little bit shorter tonight than normal, but again, always like, comment, share. We really want to know your thoughts on our topics tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna return to that one, man. We're gonna come back, man. So we want y'all to chime in.
Yeah, and don't take my boy head off. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, I ain't say nothing, man. I ain't said nothing. Bro, man.
But as always, man, like, comment, share. You know, we appreciate y'all joining us on the Ride, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you see us at. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Stay tapped in.
Stay tapped in, y'all. Peace.